This is my hydroponic garden. I only have 5 feet from the house to the fence to work with, and it's the only place in my yard that gets enough sunlight. So here's what I built. We have a reservoir that I put into the ground. I did that instead of building a platform because it would be easier and cheaper, and it wasn't that big a deal to dig a hole deep enough for a 55-gallon drum. Inside I have the pump that comes out, simple drip system you can get at your local hardware store. Comes on here, let me turn it on, and fills our buckets. On the drain side, if you've ever done hydroponics, you know that flooding is always your issue and things get backed up. So I have 2 1/4 inch drains instead of the normal 1/2 inch drain. And then I put on this cap. This cap goes there to prevent the bag right here from covering up the end of the pipe. If it does that, it will block it and it will flood. So we put that little cover on right here to prevent the bag from plugging up. That's it. You can use anything that's 2-inch pipe covering the 1 1/4 inch drain. Now every 5 buckets I tee off and go back to a 2-inch drain. So if one of the buckets should plug up one side, all the water can back up and tee into the 2-inch and move on instead of everything flooding once again. So I have a redundant system. On the end, I've put on a garden hose, and at the end of the garden hose is a shutoff valve. So when I want to drain the system, I simply open the valve and water my front yard. And again, the redundant drain system comes out of here into the 2-inch drain and heads back to the reservoir. The trellising system, I simply put in a cable up on the top there, and the line comes in, and we use the little clips to support our plants so I don't have them going all over the place. I mix my nutrient system up. I get it from Morgan County Seed, pretty good prices considering the amount you need. And I mix it up in the barrel here, and I do all my measurements here, and then I go ahead and let it drain into this bucket. Excuse me. I have a little float valve in there that prevents it from overfilling. I mix up the fertilizer and let it set for a little bit, then I add my calcium nitrate. I'll do that in just a minute. The only thing I'm going to add is a T here with a cap so that I can take a sample with the pump on and then add my my pH down, most likely, so I don't have to keep lifting this up and down, and I can keep it covered up nice and neat. So I just flip it on, take my sample, put in my correction, and it washes back into the reservoir. Not that big a deal. Air pump, I have 2 air stones here. Oops, that leaf shouldn't be there. 2 air stones here, 3 air stones in the main pump, and they're pretty good size air stones. I run a 600-gallon-an-hour pump. I just picked that for no particular reason, but it seems to work. And at the end of the summer, the plants should be all the way up to the eave of the house, and we'll be loaded with tomatoes. But maybe I'll do another video and you can check it out. Also check out MHP Gardener. He was the inspiration for a good part of this, and he's got a lot of information that you might want to check out. Thanks, you guys have a great day. Okay, I finished planting the last 3 buckets here. Went ahead and installed a little T here so that when I get a sample and I need to adjust my pH, all I have to do is open it up and pour it in there, and it'll end up in my reservoir and I don't have to remove this cover, which is not that big a deal, but I think this is going to be easier. Not bad for a 5-foot wide garden, about 50 feet long, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks.